Hello, everyone.
You're on mute.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Great. So we will be starting shortly. Can I please remind everyone to put your microphones on mute unless you are a speaker or a judge? And when the other times when you're not going to be speaking, please keep it on mute to avoid any other background noise for the other speakers. Kindly turn on your camera as well.
You're on mute.
Hello, everyone. Great.
Don't start.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Shell LiveWire's Top 10 Pitch Day. Shell LiveWire is the flagship enterprise development program of Shell that focuses on strengthening local economies by promoting entrepreneurship, innovation, and meaningful employment across the globe. Graduates of our accelerator program here in the Philippines have even been recognized as part of Shell LiveWire's top 10 global innovators worldwide, and have been recognized and backed by numerous international investors, including but not limited to Golden Gate Ventures and Y Combinator. Some of our notable alumni include NextPay, AgroDigital PH, and Nanotronics. Through the Shell LiveWire program, we hope to further scale the Philippine economy, and we are excited to see which of these 10 startups will move forward in the program. Shell LiveWire Philippines is brought to you by Pilipinas Shell Foundation and Ignite, the Philippines' premier international innovation conference organized by TechShake, DensuX, and BrainSparks. Before we begin, we will go through a couple of safety reminders. Again, please do not participate while driving. Please be familiar with the sound of any emergency alarms or fire alarms. Again, make sure that you're in a place that allows you to hear all of these emergency alarms nearby. Know the location of all fire alarms, extinguishers, emergency exits, and muster points. And know the location of the first aid kit and first aider nearby. We also have a couple of Zoom reminders. Again, all microphones will be put on mute by default. If you are a speaker or a judge, please raise your hand and unmute before you begin to speak. Kindly edit your Zoom name to the following format shown on the screen. And once again, welcome everyone to Shell LiveWire's Top 10 Pitch Day. I am your moderator, Phoebe Fontanilla, part of the investment and ESG team under TechShake, Gobi Partners, and the Gobi Core Philippine Fund. For our welcome remarks, let's give a round of applause to Mr. Serge Bernal, Shell Vice President for Corporate Relations. Mr. Serge graduated from De La Salle University in Manila with a bachelor's degree in industrial management engineering. He started his career in sales before taking up a few other roles, including business development, training and marketing in local, regional, and global posts. Serge was a JV General Manager for LPG from 2009 to 2011, when the JV achieved remarkable volume and revenue targets and HSSE performance. He then moved back to Shell Philippines, taking up sales and marketing leadership roles in lubricants, where Serge led teams to achieve over 110% sales growth and at the same time built a strong, high-performing team. He also won global recognition and was the recipient of 2 global EVP awards for Project Pearl and Project Kindle. In his recent lubricant marketing role, he was also in charge of both Philippines and Thailand. May we please welcome again Mr. Sergio Bernal. The floor is yours.
Hi, good afternoon, Phoebe. Good afternoon, everyone in this call. I hope everybody can hear me well. So as we continue to adapt to the pandemic, where businesses and connectivity sectors have faced unprecedented disruptions, something incredible has sparked. It has ignited the fire within industries, compelling them to rethink their strategies and harness the power of innovation and technology to adapt and thrive in an ever-changing environment. Amidst this chaos, I'm thrilled to witness a wave of unstoppable startups and community enterprises joining forces with the Shell LiveWIRE Acceleration Program. These bold and dynamic visionaries have embraced the challenge head-on, refusing to be held back by the crisis. They are pushing boundaries, breaking barriers, and carving a path towards success. Shell LiveWIRE has proven to be an exceptional platform for local startups and community enterprises, offering them a stage to showcase their solutions and foster innovation and collaboration. In these challenging times, this program becomes even more essential, providing a vital support system for businesses and enterprises to stay resilient and competitive. With its 4th successful year in the Philippines, Shell LiveWIRE has left an indelible mark. It has attracted over 1,000 local startups and social and community enterprises, serving as a beacon of hope and a gateway to boundless opportunities. Notably, the program has provided successful support to 32 tech startups and community enterprises, creating over 500 jobs in the past 3 years. These participants span diverse sectors, including agriculture technology, fintech, textile industry, sustainable development and solutions, and cooperatives, among others. This extensive coverage underscores the Philippines' capacity as a thriving global innovation hub. It demonstrates that an acceleration program like Shell LiveWIRE has the ability to transcend boundaries and address multifaceted challenges. Further, it uncovers untapped white space opportunities, propelling startups and the ecosystem forward. The significance of platforms like Shell LiveWIRE cannot be overstated. We firmly believe that with Shell LiveWIRE, we can guide startups on a transformative journey, helping them evolve from mere ideas to flourishing and sustainable businesses. Shell has forged strong partnerships and created abundant opportunities in diverse communities. In fact, our collaboration with previous participants and various organizations has been instrumental in nurturing their business growth, resulting in a positive economic impact. As part of our comprehensive program, we provide invaluable training, mentoring, and coaching from a distinguished pool of local and international experts. Moreover, we offer additional funding capital to kickstart or enhance their businesses, along with the potential for collaboration within the Shell value chain. In fact, to date, 12 startups have been integrated into our value chain. This program stands as a testament to the tireless efforts of our colleagues from Corporate Relations, Filipino Shell Foundation Incorporated, and our program partner, Ignite. I'd also like to acknowledge and thank our government partners, such as the Department of Trade and Industry, the Department of Science and Technology, the Department of Information and Communications Technology, and the Department of Agriculture. Their invaluable support has facilitated meaningful connections between our local startups and government programs, fostering a strong public-private alliance to uplift our country's economy. Additionally, our non-government partners, BCYF and PhilDev, have played a crucial role as supporters in this noble endeavor. Together with these agencies and organizations, our collective roles become even more vital as we engage enterprises and startups in a collaborative pursuit of co-innovation. I'm truly delighted by the unwavering enthusiasm and passion displayed by this year's top 10 participants. Today, as we gather for Pitch Day, let it serve as an inspiring platform for all of you to showcase your groundbreaking innovations. But let us not confine our ambitions and ideas solely to this program. Shell remains steadfast in its commitment to supporting startups and enterprises in their innovative journeys. Together, we can forge powerful partnerships to keep the Philippines moving forward. Let us rise above adversity and create a brighter future for our countrymen. Once again, I extend my heartfelt congratulations to all the startups pitching today and community enterprises chosen for this year's acceleration program. Each and every one of you is a champion in your own right. Finally, I would also like to express my deepest gratitude to our esteemed judges for their valuable time and dedication. As we move forward to the pitch day, I wish you all the very best and good luck. Let's keep on powering and moving the Philippines forward. Maraming salamat po and good afternoon once again to everyone. Thanks, Lee.
Great. Thank you for that, Mr. Sergio Bernal. And of course, I want to echo again what you said about our startups, that at this point, they are breaking barriers and pushing boundaries. And of course, we're very grateful for the Shell Pilipinas team, the Shell Corporation team, for integrating a lot of these startups in your network. And we're very excited to see what all of our startups will be doing moving forward, not just in terms of the Shell network, but also for the Philippine and greater ASEAN startup ecosystems. Everyone here today is, again, a champion in their own rights, and we congratulate every one of you for even making it this far. It definitely was not an easy decision for a lot of our judges, but again, each and every one of you definitely do have an impact on our ecosystem. Of course, echoing what Sir Sergio said, we also want to introduce and thank our esteemed panel of judges who are joining us for today's deliberation. So first off, let's give a round of applause to our judges. We have Ms. Jacqueline Famorca, Lubricants General Manager for Philippines of Lubricants Asia Pacific under Shell Pilipinas Corporation.
Hi, everyone.
Next, we have Mr. Sherwin Yap, Program Director for Shell-funded programs under Pilipinas Shell Foundation.
Good afternoon, everyone.
We also have Mr. Carl Pacolor, Division Chief under the government's Department of Trade and Industry.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Next, we have Mr. Alwin Aidan Ong, Assistant General Manager for Investments under the government's National Development Company.
Hi, pleasant afternoon, everyone.
Great. And last but not least, Mr. Swami Sikar, Partner and Entrepreneur in Residence in one of Southeast Asia's leading VC and early stage funds, Accelerating Asia.
Good to be here. Good afternoon and all the best.
Aside from that, we also want to welcome our auditor today. We have Mr. Gabby De Vera of PwC or PricewaterhouseCoopers.
Good afternoon, all. Thank you for inviting us to this event.
Great. Thank you, judges. Thank you to our speakers and, of course, to our auditor. We're very glad you could make it with us today and such an enjoyable event that we have. For all of our judges, you have already been briefed regarding the judging criteria for our startups. For our startup's sake, you will also be evaluated on the following: 30% for feasibility and viability, 30% for sustainability in the areas of people, planet, and profit, 20% for strength of link to Shell supply chain, and 20% for local content in terms of job creation. Startups, you will also have only 5 minutes to pitch and another 5 minutes for Q&A. Please see the timer on the screen, which will show your countdown. And once the timer is up, you have only 15 seconds to wrap up. We will now be moving forward to our top 10 startups. For the first 5, we have Farmbocacy, Resbin PH, For Rent, Lithos Manufacturing, Micro, and for our next 5, we have Dealogical, Adaptive Mobility, Rise Rural Philippines, Lycan, and Agraba Ventures. Please note that we will be taking a 5-minute break after the first 5 startups. And now, without further ado, we want to formally launch our Shell LiveWire's Top 10 Pitch Day with our very first startup, Farmbocacy. Farmbocacy is a Mindoro Island-based social climate fintech startup running a circular inclusive business model to support climate-smart rice farming, environment-friendly, and high-yielding farming systems. With us here today is Mr. Vincent Mendoza, the CEO and founder of Farmbocacy. Vincent, the floor is yours.
Imagine a world where farmers and consumers work hand in hand to take care of the environment by taking care of each other. Imagine this happening, not just to a small community, but to an entire nation. This is our dream. My name is Vincent Mendoza, and I'm the founder of Farmbocacy. We've been working with smallholder farmers to train them, provide them certified organic farm inputs, and direct market. In today's world, climate change is a big issue. Unknown to many, rice is actually a major contributor to climate change. In fact, over the last 20 years, rice is contributing more than livestock, at least in the Philippine setting. Unfortunately, comparing the intensity of methane emission from rice from the Philippines, comparing it with Thailand and Vietnam combined, we are still leading. So someone needs to work on this problem. The farming system we provide and train farmers with reduces greenhouse gases by 30% and reduces irrigation water requirement by another 32%. Last season, we were able to prove that with this system, we can compare the traditional farming system with a climate smart, and we were able to increase yield by as much as 50%. By connecting farmers to direct market, we were able to increase their revenue by 35%. Today, I'd like to introduce to you Jimmy Santiago. The sad reality is Jimmy Santiago still lives in extreme poverty. In fact, he only earns 153 pesos per day. He still relies on high interest loans from traders. He doesn't have access to local storage. And he doesn't have access to direct market. During harvest season, most of the time, farmers are forced to sell their produce at a low price, specifically during the peak harvest season. But after harvest season, palay prices starts to pick up. So there's an incentive and opportunity for farmers to keep their paddy and sell it later on after the peak harvest season. Our solution is a palay pawn shop, a fintech app that allows farmers to store their produce in our hermetic storage, access financing from lenders, get cash and farm inputs at 0% interest, and participate in a climate-smart farming system. With the help of Shell, through your Shell Select convenience stores, you'll be able to help us channel their produce directly to consumers. another opportunity also is to help us penetrate the employee rice benefit, and we will be the one to deliver it to their household. In exchange, the lenders will earn 0.5% per month or 6% per annum once we sell the rice to consumers. On the other hand, farmers will get additional payment for their produce based on the prevailing rate of palay during the time we sold the rice. We earn from the farm inputs, from the platform fee, storage fee, and margins from rice. The total market is around 695 billion pesos. Out of the 2.4 million farmers, we're targeting only 700 farmers for the first 3 years. And this will allow us to generate around 200 million pesos. Our team is composed of a full stack tech developer, a banker, me as a CEO, and agriculturist. With this innovation, we'd like to invite everyone to be one with us and make us Shell LiveWIRE cohort. With technology, we can better the lives, Kuya Jimmy, and thousands like him. Maraming salamat.
Great. Thank you for that, Vincent. It's really nice to see what you're doing and how you're integrating different models, including climate, agricultural, and financial technology to really help uplift our local economies. So now we'll be moving forward to the Q&A. Judges, please just raise your hand through the Zoom feature below, and we'll call on you to begin the question and answer. Do our judges have any questions for Mr. Vincent here? Great, Mr. Swami Sikar, please proceed.
So a really good proposition and truly solving a need. It looks like the solution has many components. Can you talk about the core piece of technology or innovation? Is it more around this complex ecosystem and that model that operates, or is it more around that product that you showed in one of the slides, which will be the competitive differentiation and help you hold the competitive moat for your business as it grows? So to understand replicability and to understand if there is a specific point piece, which is the innovation or the IP that the rest of the model that you have built revolves around.
Yeah, the systems and model have been filed for a patent in 2021. And the technology behind it is powered by blockchain that allows integrity and provides confidence to both the lenders and the farmers that the commodity is intact. And once the transaction is done, both the lenders and the farmers are informed. We will also be integrating a digital wallet that facilitates payment directly to both the lenders and the farmers. So I hope I was able to answer your questions here.
Great, thank you, Vincent. Do we have any other questions from our other? Yes, Mr. Carr Palcalar, go ahead.
Hello, Sir Vincent. Just curious about the current traction of Farm Advocacy and where you are right now in terms of the number of customers you are serving or number of communities that you're serving, and who are your possible clients at this point?
So we started off with around 130 and then grew to 230 farmers. Initially, we provided financing to production loan. Unfortunately, like many banks, we learned the hard way. Only 20% of the farmers paid. That's why we came up with this innovation wherein the financing is 0%, but it's collateralized because we already have the commodity. So last year and for the next 1 year and a half, we are currently channeling their produce to our corporate partners. And with this Shell LiveWIRE, we hope to make our brand of rice available to as many consumers. So this is our first step to make it mainstream, and hopefully we'll make it available in all Shell Select, other convenience stores, public market, and even groceries and supermarket.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carl. Thank you, Vincent. Any other last questions from our other judges? Yes, Ms. Jacqueline, go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Vincent, can you share how is the profitability for the farmers and for your company? Can you explain that again?
So during the last harvest season, farmers would normally traders would normally offer 17 pesos per kilo. And in our case, we were able to provide them a price of 20 pesos. So based on our projection, the total incremental revenue is around 37%. In our case, we have a healthy margin from the farm inputs, around 30%. And for the rice, that would range between 3 to 16%. And for the fintech, we will be making money from the storage fee, platform fee, and commission from Pala.
Great. Thank you, Ms. Jacqueline. Again, thank you, Vincent. I believe if none of the other judges have any other questions. So yes, that's all the time that we have for Farm Advocacy today. Thank you, Vincent. And again, it's very interesting to know what you're really doing to uplift our local agricultural sector, and really good luck on your journey, and hope you get to meet and expand this product into the other countries. So moving on to our second startup, we have Resbin PH. Resbin is a tech-enabled solution that makes waste recovery and collection accessible to everyone. Their goal is to build the Philippine waste economy by empowering Filipinos to develop proper waste disposal habits and earn additional income at the same time. Joining us here today is Mr. Matthew Mari Martinez, CEO and co-founder of Resbin. Mari, the floor is yours. Hi, Mari, you're on mute.
Sorry about that.
No worries, and please go ahead.
According to the 2021 report of the World Bank, the Philippines generates a staggering 2.7 million tons of plastic waste annually. Landfills across the country are filled to the brim, and sadly, 1 out of every 5 pieces of plastic ends up in our oceans each year, making us by far the world's #1 contributor of ocean plastic pollution, surpassing any other country by a large margin. But this has not gone unnoticed. The gravity of the situation has pushed the Philippine government to act through the 2022 EPR law. This forces plastic producers, like FMCGs, to start collecting the plastics that they produce. At the same time, sustainability in the Philippines has gained popularity over the past years, with many green initiatives sprouting. However, as seen here, as well as numerous other places across the country, not enough solutions have been geared towards the actual recovery of the waste and the development of our society's poor waste disposal habits. All these plastics lying around amount to $890 million of potential value and are a resource of opportunities just waiting to be tapped. Good day, everyone. I am Mari from Resbin, and we are here to disrupt the waste economy. Resbin collects plastics from 3 main sources. We work with corporations and offices by situating bins in their buildings where they can drop off their plastic waste. Next, we allow sari-sari stores to earn by becoming plastic collection stations in their communities, utilizing the existing 1.3 million establishments across the country. And finally, we partner with organizations for their CSR initiatives such as beach cleanups and plastic collection drives. With a culture that is deeply community-centered, establishing a hyper-local presence is crucial to forming recurring habits. By empowering these community-based bodies, we are able to collect magnanimously from the grassroots. ResBin then acts as an aggregator for the plastic waste and incentivizes both the depositor of the waste as well as our partners, thus building intrinsic value for plastics. We then sort and pre-process the waste in our hubs, and this crucial step allows us to cost-efficiently transport waste from all around the Philippine archipelago and sell them directly to upcycling facilities and manufacturers, thereby creating an economy of its own and closing the loop. In addition to that, we also work with corporations and help them offset the plastics that they produce. Through our solution, we're building the infrastructure that enables over 100,000 Filipinos and generate opportunities to increase their sources of income. There's a huge demand for post-consumer plastics out there. As I just explained, our business model is really simple and straightforward. Firstly, we sell plastic waste to upcycling facilities, manufacturers, and exporters. And secondly, we help plastic producers earn plastic credits, which simply means that companies such as Nestle and Coca-Cola pay us to collect plastic waste to offset the plastics they produce, similar to how carbon credits work. Having started operations less than 2 months ago, we have already collected around 400 kilograms of plastic waste through just 3 partners. This is projected to increase sharply in the next 70 days through the mentorship and funding of Founders Launchpad and the guidance of the Visa Bridge for Billions program. With them, we are fast-tracking the onboarding of 54 new locations and the collection of at least 1,900 kilograms of plastic waste. We are also set to launch the ResBin mobile app, which will greatly help in streamlining the collection process and traceability and disbursement of payments, among other features. More so, we are working to assign a value to every single piece of plastic through AI identification. Combining my experience in product management and process improvement and Mika's experience in corporate and retail partnerships and logistics, we've developed a solution to significantly amplify waste recovery, collection, and transport to form lucrative programs to create a sustainable livelihood for many Filipinos. Together, we are reimagining how we dispose of our trash, one waste type at a time. Again, we are ResBin, and we are building the technology and infrastructure to make plastic waste recovery easy and profitable. Thank you so much, and we hope you don't waste this opportunity. I'm now open for your questions.
Great. Thank you, Mary. Such an interesting solution you have. The waste management and recovery here in the Philippines certainly addresses a lot of our problems and generating income at the same time. So yes, judges, we'll move forward with Q&A. Please just raise your hand through the Zoom feature below and we'll call on you to proceed. Any questions from our judges? Yes, Mr. Swami, go ahead.
Thanks, and seriously solving a good problem, Matthew. I have a question around how you validated the revenue and kind of profits or sustainable profit generation milestone. So 50 plus partners and a few thousand kilograms processed. How does that translate in terms of gross and net revenue and revenue translation into the income along the value chain that you have created?
Sure. For our hubs, we have around, or our plastic sorting stations, we have around 150% markup. So we actually, in terms of unit economics, we make around 150% that compared to the cost that we have. We sell plastic waste. In terms of how we validated it, we basically talk to a number of upcycling facilities who actually buy the waste. Multiple upcycling facilities, different upcycling facilities collect different types of waste. So depending on the upcycling facility, we send them a specific type of waste because they value them differently. So if one upcycling facility values this type of waste, plastic waste specifically, more than the other, so we send them that specific type of plastic. Yeah, so that's how we did it. We've also talked to an exporter of plastics who exports it to countries like China and Taiwan, where they make use of the plastic waste from the Philippines. I hope that
Great.
answered the question.
Thank you.
Great.
Just
Thank
as a follow-up, are you pushing for a first mover advantage here, or what are the ways to look at how traditional players who are handling the waste supply chain from coming into that space, and even the other folks who might come into the adjacent area where you're working?
So we're not really, although first mover advantage is very beneficial, one of our main modes is really the being able to set up and partner with these sari-sari stores. These are people, this is basically a new income stream for them, right? Unlike the traditional model where only junk shops collect the waste, this where we empower anyone to literally collect plastic waste and earn from it. So there's plastic waste everywhere, and there's quite a lot of establishments who would like to earn from the plastic waste that they already sell. So just building that network, being able to not only develop the technology, but also build the infrastructure, and of course, the network of establishments who collect waste. Our competitors can probably do one or two of those things, but building them all and combining them is a much more difficult endeavor.
Great. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Swami. Let's move forward. Mr. Alwin, you have a question as well.
Yes, good afternoon. Matthew, just two questions. The first one is, when you deploy your collection bins, how do you educate the people there? Because I think one of the key problems is segregation. It's a problem that's every LGU is beset with. First is, can you tell us how you're able to scale the education for the segregation of the plastics?
So the way we do it right now is basically we accept all types of plastics. It's very, very simple. We don't even need to educate people about it because we accept all types, right? And then we only buy clean plastics. So for example, you drop off your plastics in a bin, especially in like an office or something. One of our waste partners will collect it, and then they're the ones that segregate it and then sell it to us. So we segregate at the source in a way for the bins, right? It's much easier actually for the sari-sari stores because the sari-sari stores are like the community center, right? And they're the ones who tell them, oh, I won't accept that waste unless it's clean already. And then we buy everything at a single price from these locations. So education is not the problem for us. In terms of that, we make it super simple for anyone to sell us their plastic waste. Yeah, so that's how we do it. But in the future also, that's why we're developing an AI so that it can identify each and every piece of plastic. And you don't even need to know anything. You just scan it with the app.
All right. Thank you for that, Matthew. Another question is has to do with logistics. If eventually, a few years down the road, you decide to scale this, the Philippines is an archipelago, you know that. So I think one of the issues is moving resources from one island to another. So how do you plan to resolve that?
Yeah, our operations are actually started in Iloilo, and there's no upcycling facilities in Iloilo. So what we do, we actually pre-process some of the waste. By pre-process, we clean, sort, and even shred the waste, some types of waste, so that it's much cheaper to transport. So that's one of our major value props, actually, making it possible to earn from plastic waste in provinces, not just in Metro Manila.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. So unfortunately, that is all the time we have. Sorry, Mr. Sherwin, yeah, but I hope you do get to voice your questions as well to our next batch of startups. And of course, you're very open to also just contacting Mary and, asking all of these questions on a personal level. So again, thank you, Mary. It was very great learning what you're doing for waste management here in the Philippines. We wish you good luck. And we hope to remind everyone to just not waste this opportunity. So next, moving on to our third startup for today, we have For Rent. For Rent is the Philippines' peer-to-peer car sharing platform where we enable car owners to make money with their cars by renting them out to anyone in need of transportation, providing accessible and convenient transportation alternatives for everyone. Joining us here today is For Rent CEO, JV De Leon. JV, the floor is yours.
Hi everyone, my name is JV, CEO and co-founder of ForRent, a peer-to-peer car sharing platform. And we're here to provide an alternative transportation solution to the Philippines' limited mobility options, where it's always a challenge to get anywhere at any time. And the best experience that you can have is to actually drive your own car. But that is another problem, because owning a car is expensive for most Pinoys, and it's about to get even more expensive with this new proposed bill. No garage, no car policy. On the other side, there are more than 6 million cars in the Philippines today, most of which are just sitting in their homes, offices, and on the streets depreciating in value, and that is a lot of underutilized assets. To solve these problems, we created a platform that can turn car owners to turn their underutilized assets into an income-generating assets, and at the same time providing convenient and accessible transportation option for everyone. Here's how it works. Car owners can list their car for free. They can set their own price, terms, and availability. For the users, booking a car is just 3 simple steps. You can think of it like booking a ride-hailing app, but you get to drive it yourself with your friends or family and just go anywhere. This is a proven model in the US, Europe, India, and in other parts of the world. Here in the Philippines, peer-to-peer car sharing is growing, but they don't have a platform and instead rely on Facebook groups and marketplace, which is unorganized and unsafe because of scammers. And we believe that if there's a proper platform to organize and professionalize the transactions, making it safe and easy for everyone, there will be more car owners who will be doing car sharing. So by the end of 2025, we're targeting to increase the number of cars from 120,000, which is just 2.5% of the total cars available today, to 600,000 cars. And that will give us a revenue of $180 million US. And we are already seeing this on our platform with our hosts, Luz, Janessa, and Miguel. They started with 1 car, and because they are having a lot of demand, they decided to buy a second car just for car sharing. Take Luz, for example. With just 3 months on our platform, she earned over 150,000 pesos. And we're very excited to see more of these success stories as we grow and scale our business. For our milestone, we partnered with the Philippines' top non-life insurance company to offer a tailored fit insurance for car sharing. We got accepted in the Antler program in Singapore. We're the only Filipino founder that got in from over 1,000 applications globally. We onboarded our head of growth with proven track record. Last month, despite the fact that we had canceled bookings because of Typhoon Betty, we managed to have our all-time high of GMV of 740,000 pesos. And this month, Avis, which is one of the top car rental company globally, joined our platform as a host and got their first booking within 24 hours. For our traction this year, we generated over 2.5 million peso in GMV. We have 40,000 registered users and growing, and over 1,000 days of booking. For our business model, we generate revenue in 3 ways. We charge the transaction fee each booking. We earn commission from auto insurance, and soon through our connected car technology tool, car owners will be able to monitor and have a complete control of their vehicle using our mobile app. Here's the team. I handle the operations. I'm a lifelong car enthusiast. I build my own business working with cars, a car trading company, which I grew from 0 to 25 million peso in revenue in just 2 years without external funding. With me is Pierre, who developed our app and handle our tech. And Dennis handles our marketing and growth strategy with proven track record in scaling marketplaces, such as Airbnb, serving as the regional marketing manager from Series B to F. And we're here today because we see a lot of opportunity and synergy between our startup and the Shell ecosystem. Together, we can promote the use of high quality eco-friendly products that minimize environmental impact, reduce emissions, and contribute to a greener future. Thank you, and I look forward to your questions.
Great. Thank you for that, JV. And it's very interesting to see. We do definitely have a lot of people really in need of using cars, but it's always very difficult to get a car even nowadays. So I believe we had Mr. Alwin who raised your hand first.
JB, I have a question regarding the last statement you posted. How can you minimize the carbon footprint with this one? I'm trying to get my head, I'm trying to wrap my head around it, because essentially you're trying to encourage more vehicles on the road. Can you educate me somewhere?
Sure. So it's really just maximizing the existing cars, trying to use it on a better way instead of buying new cars every now and then for the Philippines. It's actually aligned with the government initiative to reduce the number of traffic congestion and curb the number of private vehicles here in the Metro Manila. So if you have instant access to cars nearby, you won't feel the need to buy a new car. And when you do buy a new car, you always feel the need to use it whenever you go to the restaurant or in any other places compared to when you don't own a car.
So how do you deal with somebody wanting to lease the car? I mean, where do they pick up the car keys, and where do they leave it or drop it off after they use it?
So they can communicate within the platform. So car owners, as a car owner, you always have the choice whether you can deliver the vehicle to their doorstep with an additional fee, or you can ask them to pick up your car in your garage or in your office.
Okay, thank you. No further questions. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Alwin. Thank you, JV. Next, we have Mr. Sherwin Yap. Please go ahead.
Hi, JV. Interesting concept, and I love the name, by the way. My question is about taxation and maybe how. Mainly the question is, will it be vatable? One. Second is, for people that are renting out their vehicles through your app, do they need to register it as a business because they'll be earning from it?
Yeah, thank you for your question. So currently, there's no regulation in the Philippines regarding self-drive car sharing platform, and we're very much open and looking forward to work with the government. For your second question, if they offer self-drive or with driver option or super driver, car owners must obtain a permit from LTFRB. These permits must be obtained by operating as a car rental company or TNVS. And to ensure the compliance, we only accept car owners or car rental companies who have the necessary permits.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Sherwin. We have one last question. Ms. Jacqueline, please go ahead.
Yeah, hi, JV. I have two questions. One is, how would you differentiate your company versus your competitors in terms of your value proposition? And second, how can you guarantee security and safety for your passengers? What is your verification process like?
Yeah, so our main value proposition is you can always have a car nearby that you can use whenever you need it. You don't need to go travel to Makati or BGC just to pick up the vehicle in car rental offices, saving you a lot of time and money. For the safety and security, that is actually our #1 priority as a platform. For the safety of our users or renters, we verify all our hosts or car owners. For them to be able to create a listing, they need to submit a copy of their valid ID and selfie holding the same ID. We also ask for the documents of the vehicles to ensure that they are compliant with LTO regulations. We partnered and will continue partnering with car care providers to ensure that the vehicles on our platform are in good condition. And for the safety of our hosts or car owners, we will be introducing the connected car technology here in the Philippines. This will give car owners a complete control of their vehicle remotely using our app. They can switch off the engine, they can lock or unlock the doors, and they can even track it real time. We are already introducing the insurance tailored fit for car sharing, and we're continuously developing new features to further enhance the safety and security of our users.
Hi, Ms. Jacqueline, you said you had one more question, sorry.
Yeah. That's two already.
Okay, great. So again, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you to Mr. JV De Leon. Such a very interesting product you have here and really helping the needs of a lot of Filipinos that really need a car, a vehicle to attend to, especially at the last minute. So next, we're moving on to our next startup for today. We have our fourth startup, Lithos Manufacturing OPC. Lithos is an R&D company focused on adding value to the local minerals such as zeolite, bentonite, calcium carbonate for industrial, agricultural, aquacultural, and environmental applications. Joining us here today is Lithos founder and CEO, Ms. Eleanor Olegario. Eleanor, the floor is yours.
Yes, good afternoon to our panel of jurors for the Shell LiveWIRE Philippines 2023. I'm Eleanor Olivario, founder of Zeolite Sile or Lithos Manufacturing. So we produce mineral products such as calcium carbonate, natural zeolites, and bentonites. And we also currently under in the R&D of to upgrade these minerals to serve the feeds and veterinary industry, wastewater, and agricultural market as well. So our team is composed of 3 experts from private corporations such as Manly Plastics, Miles and Levers, and our research institutions such as ITDI of DOST for our materials research. I collaborated with these companies to solve a pressing problem of our community, how to provide safe and clean water to the farthest, most inaccessible regions of our country, places where students have to bring water to their own school and areas where tapping into natural water sources of water is prohibitively very expensive. And due to the scarcity of water, some of the residents are forced to drink non-potable water. So of the many possible solutions, our individual expertise and experiences led us to come up with this solution. The first ever locally manufactured, foldable, and modular water collection and with conveyance system and filtration. This can be used as a storage for rooftop rainwater harvesting system to solve water scarcity in remote communities. The ML tank is packaged in a plastic carton that showcases its foldability and lightweight features, making it easy for transport. It is also simple to install and maintain using tools that are available in hardware stores. And our team also provides maintenance and training as a critical part of sustainability and long-term viability of our solution. It also has a filter that absorbs metals and organics from the rooftop and treat acid rainwater as well. So how important is foldability and modularity? Here you will see with the same 1,000 capacity of storage. The drums take about 1.22 cubic meter of space, the IBC tanks with 1 cubic meter of space, and the ML tanks with only 0.625 cubic meter of volume. So say in a 20-footer container, the transport space is about 28 cubic meter. If I were to transport different storage tanks and compare the number of units that can fit inside a 20-footer space, one can only contain 72 units of the barrels and only 20 units of the IBC tanks. But for the ML containers or the foldable tanks, about 100 or 550 units can fit inside. So this translates to a storage space of about 550,000 liters that can be delivered to the community. So clearly our solution is more expensive than the alternatives, but in certain use case scenarios such as this, where space is premium and logistics is very expensive, our water storage and filtration in a box is a superior value solution. So in addition to isolated establishments and communities, our solution is ideal for
I'm sorry,
disasters
Leah.
and relief
Excuse me.
operations.
Sorry, Leah. Your slides are not moving.
Okay, so is this moving now? So our
Right.
immediate market,
Alea, it's still the same slide on our end.
oh, okay. So I'll just stop share again. I'm sorry. So for now, our immediate market is about for the elementary schools in the remote communities in the Philippines, it's about 43,000. And this translates into 1.5 billion if we are to target the countrywide market. But since we're just starting, we wanted to do or offer our production capacity at about 231 million. So there are about 1,100 Shell retail stations in the Philippines, and some are remotely located in the provinces. So each station can have one foldable tank for its rooftop rainwater harvesting system, which can be dismantled easily and reinstalled in water-stressed communities within the area during disasters and calamities. So our technology has been proven in diverse cases, such as schools in Marawi regions where there are victims of war and conflict, in mga Tarim Pangasinan, where there are 3 units that was donated for the building mission by LabPal Singapore. And during the pandemic, some are installed in hospitals. So this March 2023, we won the Philippine Water Challenge, and we were able to participate in the Lebanese competition and have a pending grant with the DOST TAPI for our IP protection. So I hope we have heightened your interest in the promise of our solution, and we look forward to working with you as we provide one of the most basic needs of our community, that is safe and reliable water. Thank you so much for your kind attention.
Thank you, Leia. Again, it's very interesting what you have here to really provide quality water storage solutions, especially for areas that really struggle with water scarcity. So judges, please, we'll move forward with the question and answer portion. Just raise your hand and we'll call on you. Any questions from our judges today? Yes, Mr. Alvin, please go ahead.
Yes, I'd just like to ask Leia, do you have any competitors in the market right now, and how is this different from the rain storage system that's currently out in the market?
Yes, what we have right now in the Philippines is we don't have a locally manufactured competitor. So right now we can just compare our foldable tanks with the existing containers that are available in junk shops, such as the barrels and that of the IBC tanks.
All right, so you're partnering, or you are in partner with Manly Plastics right now to do the manufacturing for you. Is that correct?
Yes, we have merged our resources so that we'll be able to do this foldable tank, at the same time put a filter so that it's available already for installation in remote communities, some of which have an interest in Kalayaan Island, where it's very remote and they need this rainwater collector in the area.
Okay. Thank you, Leia. You have a very good product. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Alvin. We have another question from Mr. Sherwin Yap. Please go ahead.
Hi, Leia. It's more of a clarification. So you mentioned that rainwater will be stored in the foldable tanks, and it will be filtered as well, right? So ready for drinking. Is that?
Hopefully, we are trying to modify our material, which is natural zeolites, to be able to produce a drinking standard water.
For the moment, it's not yet available for drinking, is it?
Yeah, because we only have a non-modified zeolite mineral right now, but we're coordinating closely with DOST ICDI so that we'll be able to produce a mineral that is modified and ready for drinking standards for our water, filtered water.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sherwin. Do we have other questions from our judges? Also, Mr. Alvin, Mr. Sherwin, I believe your hands are still up, if ever. But yes, let's proceed first with Mr. Swami Sikar.
Yeah, really innovative solution, and you're solving both kind of the physical structure problem as well as the filtration technique. So I hope that both are quite successful. In terms of vision, longer term, do you see both your vision as well as the solution going beyond Philippines? And what's your or where do you think there might be, because of competitive reasons or other aspects, where the limits of where this technology and specifically the company can go to?
Okay, right now we are looking into companies that have corporate social responsibility. They could install this in their one of their projects outside of their corporation within their community. So in any corporations that has this set up or has the heart to give to the community, we are with them in providing a solution for rainwater collection, and so that it will also prevent flood in their area, as well as not using electricity to get water resources in their area. So all of the corporations or even government institutions or even educational institutions can use this even from here and even in other countries as well. So that's the type of industry or market that we wanted to provide. Also, places of disasters will be a good market area, so that instantly in that area where there are resources of water are not available during the conflict or say volcanic eruptions, easily they could give out these tanks to the communities.
Because we have half a minute, I'll just have a follow-on quickly. It looks like the solution, both the storage optimization as well as the filtering, is applicable anywhere, even to a normal city, an urban city, and anywhere. So is there a reason why you're not going direct? Is it because of the quality of the technology or the quality of the final output product? Why not go really mass?
Really do mass production. Right now, we want to channel this type of technology because it's foldable. So we're targeting on communities that are isolated, so that they will be able to deliver as much as storage space as they can towards the community that needs this. So we would like to partner with the government and corporations that have access to these remote communities. So that's the reason why we don't go straight first, but we would like to have a sector that will be able to use this technology for them in terms of modularity and foldability of the feature.
Great. So I believe that's all the time we have for Lithos Manufacturing. Thank you to our judges. And of course, thank you, Leah. You're really providing a very innovative solution addressing water scarcity here in the Philippines, something that can definitely be brought in other countries as well. So moving forward with our fifth startup today, we have Micro. Micro is an early-stage micro-pumped hydro energy storage solutions for remote mountainous communities. It aims to replace the medium-duration energy storage from lithium-ion batteries to pumped hydro storage in order to lessen the total electrification costs and deploy renewable energies in remote communities more economically. Joining us here today is Mr. Leo Villalba, the lead and co-founder of Micro. Leo, the floor is yours.
Hi, everyone. So, good afternoon. My name is Leo Villalba, currently the team lead and co-founder of Micro. So, we are an early-stage micro-pump hydro energy storage solution startup. So, we know that our country, Philippines, is composed of more than 7,600 islands. And with this, there are several mountainous regions, as you can see on the left. So the challenge on electrification of our country is mainly the connectivity of these islands and the reach on these mountainous regions. Ever since I was young, I was already exposed to the remote community in our country. And with this, I saw that there are still a lot of opportunities, such as productivity with machineries and improved education with electrification in remote communities. So several of us here takes for granted the light during the night. However, this small luxury is still not available in these communities. According to the National Electrification Agency, there are still more than 10,000 unenergized cities at already 90% electrification level. Currently, the government is solving this problem through diesel electrification. However, this comes with a high cost of electricity. Also, it is exposed to the global market prices, and it also emits carbon dioxide emissions. On the other hand, we can electrify this community through renewable energy. However, this comes with the issue of flexibility, expensive storage, and using lithium ion, it needs constant replacement. So our solution, micro solution, combines the energy management system and the power converter to build the micro pump hydro energy storage, replacing the medium duration storage of lithium ion. It works such that during high renewable energy production, the water from the lower reservoir will be pumped up to the upper reservoir, and during low renewable energy production, the water from the upper reservoir will be discharged to the lower reservoir, thereby generating electricity. It works similarly to a utility scale pump hydro storage, and our initial capacity will be around 150 kilowatt hour of storage, or around 30 kilowatt capacity. With this, we can achieve cheaper electrification costs, take advantage of our natural landscape, and to reduce the exposure to global market prices. We did a simulated study last 2020, comparing our solution to a diesel power plant and a solar PV system with 100% lithium ion. With diesel power plant, we can say that we could have at around more than 70% total cost reduction, while on solar PV and 100% lithium, we will achieve more than 30% cost reduction. So our potential business models are to develop and operate or sell itself our system to the community or electric cooperative or the renewable energy supplier. And we can also earn from the carbon credits earned from the project implementation. Our current progress, we are almost done with our first prototype in 1 to 2 months. We are done with the hardware. We are lacking now in the functionality test. This is mainly because of the nature of our deep technology. So in our roadmap, we plan to finish the first prototype this year and the patent application later on. Then we will move on to the MVP of renewable energy integration, scale up then to pump hydro storage, and later in the next years, we will also go for new markets such as electric vehicles and chargers because our core technology is similar to those. We are already supported by New Energy Nexus in their acceleration program and the OST TAPI for their prototype granting. And the support that we greatly need are for funding of our R&D, mentoring for commercialization, and also partnerships for pilot testing and implementation in remote grids. Again, we are micro and help us transform these communities through green energy electrification. I am Leo Villalba, and my expertise is in renewable generation technologies and the grid. Together with me is Ivan Nara, in charge of business development, Francis Neri in systems design, Jason Duwangan also for the product development, working with me. And thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, Leo. Really very interesting really interesting to see what you're doing for our remote areas, especially. And it's really great to see that you're really bringing a lot of this energy storage solutions there. We'll move forward with the Q&A. We have, I believe, Mr. Carl Pacolor. Carl, please go ahead.
Hi, Leo. Good afternoon. Quick question. When you talk about micro, can you describe briefly what a micro is? I mean, in terms of technical specifications, the power output of this micro, and what possible devices it can power up in a certain rural area or locality.
So our core technology mainly is a back-to-back converter, which enables bidirectional power flow. So you can act as a pump or a motor, or pump, motor, or generator, both ways. And initially, we are targeting of 30 kilowatt hour capacity because as we size in the remote areas of CTOs, it is sufficient for 100 clustered households. So that's for our MVP2. And for our MVP1 is that we are targeting for renewable energy integration, such as wind turbines or hydro turbines, anything that rotates. And we can interface it directly to the grid, similarly to what we are doing right now with solar PV. So we are aiming to have it as simple as possible for everyone to integrate their system.
Okay, thank you. I'll give a chance to other judges to ask questions.
Thank you, Carl. So yes, we have Mr. Alwin. Please continue.
Thank you, Phoebe. Leo, do you already have a proof of concept for this technology?
This is already working. This is what is used in wind turbines, but right now we are developing something our own in order to lower the costs of the system itself and the components. And we are already at around 80% done in our prototyping. And once we are done with that, we will scale up and do the pilot testing.
And your prototype can approximately generate how much energy, how much power?
Right now, we are only prototyping of around 2 kilowatts.
2 kilowatts. And the projected cost per kilowatt hour is about how much?
In our system, around 19 peso per kilowatt hour if it's integrated already in the grid. So comparing that to currently the 155 peso per kilowatt hour in diesel, it's very high difference.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Phoebe. No further questions.
Thank you, Mr. Alwin. Do we have any other questions from our other judges? Do we have any other follow-up questions as well? Oh, yes, Mr. Sherwin, yeah, please go ahead.
I Leo, very interesting idea. Just wanted to understand in terms of automation. So at night, say you need power, right? How much water flow is needed? Is it going to be regulated? Can you describe that a bit?
Yeah, so as much as possible, we aim for the system to be autonomous so that because this system will be located in a remote mountainous regions and there's no technicians there readily available. So it should be as automated as possible. So it will be regulated because the grid also needs to be balanced. So we cannot overproduce, we cannot underproduce. So we should generate the exact demand at every time.
So you're saying that the system that you're creating will match the requirement during the at night.
Yes, that's our goal. That's why we are having a energy management system and a converter side by side.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sherwin. Mr. Alwin, I believe your hand's still raised or you're good. Okay, so do we have any other last questions from our other judges today before we move forward? Any other follow-up questions maybe from our previous judges that raised their hand? Okay, great. I think that's all the questions we have for you, Leo. And, it's really great to see what you're doing for a lot of our rural communities, definitely addressing a very urgent problem here in the Philippines and for sure in other countries and regions too. So that is our 5th startup for today, ladies and gentlemen, and we will be taking a 5-minute break. Please be back here by 2:22 p.m. after 5 minutes. And this has been our first 5 startups for Shell LiveWire's Top 10 Pitch Day. Please stay tuned. We will be coming back with the remaining 5 startups, very interesting solutions as well. And thank you, everyone, and good afternoon.
companies. Register now at www.shell.com.ph/livewire.
Is there? Okay.
Bawat Pilipino may sariling kwento. Pero ano man ang pinagdaraanan, isa lang gustong patuloy. Isang Pilipinas, umuusad at umuunlad. Kaya kumikilos tayo. Di lang para sa sarili, kundi para sa lahat. Sa mahigit 100 taon, kasama ng Pilipino ang Shell sa pagpapaunlad ng ating bansa. Para sa future scientists at engineers, so they can keep creating sustainable solutions that move us forward. Para sa mga nagsisimula ng negosyo, so they can keep moving forward with businesses that do good. Para sa ating mga komunidad, so they can keep making lives better for their families and for our society. Para kahit sa mga sulok ng Pilipinas, we can keep moving forward with good energy. Marami pa tayong magagawa. Kaya sama-sama tayo. Let's keep moving the Philippines forward.
Inclusivity and diversity. And resources. This is LiveWIRE. Our Global Project Enterprise Development Program, officially launched here.
To support communities by helping them grow through long-term initiatives that ensure sustainable livelihood for Filipinos. We support the companies of the future today. We support enterprises that make a relevant social impact. We support efforts that improve the lives of communities, great ideas, and sustainable projects made by Filipinos to help fellow Filipinos. Let's spark change in our country. Shell LiveWIRE.
This year, we bring back Shell LiveWIRE, the program that energizes innovative Filipino entrepreneurs. Be equipped with mentorship, funding, and access to the Shell value chain, guiding you in advancing your vision in environmental sustainability, business innovation, or social impact. Let's continue to power lives, build opportunities, and strengthen local economies. Register now at www.shell.com.ph/livewire.
Are we to start? Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Shell LiveWire's Top 10 Pitch Day. We are going to be moving forward with our remaining 5 startups for today. First off, we have Adaptive Mobility. Adaptive Mobility is a smart mobility device manufacturer making smart devices for our PWDs and elderly. With us here today is Adaptive Mobility's founder, Mr. James Camacho. James, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. My name is James Camacho. I am the founder of Adaptive Mobility, also the inventor of the nano foldable crutches that was co-developed along with TAPI DOST and MIRDC. I've had polio ever since I was a child, and I've been using multiple mobility assistive devices all my life. And many PWDs want to basically participate in being productive in our country, and that entails doing the same basic things that a normal person would do, like commuting, traveling from point A to point B as efficient as possible, like going to class, work, church, or whatever. But all of these activities require freedom and access to mobility. But sadly, that is not the case for most Filipinos, Filipino PWDs who either one, have no access to proper mobility assistive devices, or can't afford good quality equipment because it's hard for them to get a decent job. So the solution that we create, I believe that the simplest solutions can make a great impact. And we have created a smart Filipino-made and designed mobility assistive device with improved functionality, also with modern aesthetics. The nano foldable crutches is made of high quality aluminum alloy that can be easily folded quickly with the push of a button, even in tight spaces, making it more efficient and compact when traveling. So we also aim to provide a win-win solution to involve LGUs or even companies through their corporate social responsibility to support and purchase our products and donate the crutches for free to all PWDs who need it in the country. And in this day of AI and advanced robotics, we believe it's time to show our support for inclusive innovation for our fellow PWD brothers and sisters in the country. Right now, our product costs around 10,000 peso per pair due to high cost to manufacture it locally. It's a bit higher compared to other products, but in terms of quality and functionality, it is far superior than competition. We can definitely lower cost to production if we can get pre-orders from companies so we can outsource production and do assembly and packaging here in the Philippines and hire PWDs in our local community. So how do we go about achieving this? I believe in the verse that says Proverbs 3:27, it says, "Do not withhold good from those to whom it is due when it is in the power of your hand to do so." If we can get companies to support and see the vision, then perhaps we will be able to solve this problem altogether. There's a lot of PWDs out there who need our help, especially in our country, and supporting this project can become a catalyst for other innovations in mobility assistive devices. And I believe that if we can give our brothers and sisters the right tools and access to proper equipment, then it would empower them to have faith and confidence in their future as productive members in our society. So to sum it all up, we are trying to raise 5 million pesos to build a manufacturing company that would hire PWDs that build and design smart mobility assistive devices. Secondly, gain relevant partnerships to create PWD inclusive innovation programs and raise the funding for production and launching of our startup. So again, my name is James Pomacho. Thank you for listening, and we look forward to your support for our startup.
Thank you for that, Jim. Very interesting to see what you have in store for our PWD community here. Again, what you said, sometimes the simplest solutions are the smartest solutions. So of course, moving forward with the Q&A from the judges, please just raise your hand through the Zoom feature below. Judges, do we have any questions for James? Yes, Mr. Sherwin Yap, please go ahead.
Hi, James. Just one question. What's your target price when you get your investment in?
Our goal is to have it lowered up to $100 or less than $100 because the competition out in international markets is around 250 to 300, and then there are some $100, but they're very, very low quality.
Thank you, James.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sherwin. Yes, we have a question from Ms. Jacqueline.
Hi, James. How much in the percentage wise, is it dependent from, when you manufacture it internationally? Yeah.
Yes, locally right now it's very expensive because the volume that we have right now is very small. But if we can outsource it, maybe probably in China or Taiwan or Vietnam or any other countries outside of the Philippines, then maybe we could have it, like really lowered down to about 1,500 to 2,000 pesos per pair. So at least that's how I envision it. But we're still looking into it right now. So.
Yeah, but in terms of making it, right, manufacturing it, Is it like dependent on international like supplies and all? Where do you get your
No,
suppliers?
right now we have all the supplies that we need for the resources like the aluminum. We just have to assemble it here. We already have partnerships with NSB Engineering that is located in Lower Bikutan, close to DOST, so they are assisting us with that one right now.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Carl Pacalor, please go ahead.
Might just have missed it, but just want to confirm if there are any IPs that were filed for this particular product already.
Right now we have a patent for the product, and TAPI DOST has assisted us acquiring a patent for it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Carl. Any other questions from our other judges today? Please just raise your hand through the Zoom feature. Or also any follow-up questions from our previous judges? Okay, I believe that's all the questions that we have for you. Oh, Ms. Jacqueline, do you have one more?
I just
No
want to
worries.
know, how many have you sold so far?
Right now we are currently talking with different PIDAO offices from Taytay, from Calabarzon, Pasig, and Quezon City. So they are interested, and some LGUs in Calabarzon have already given a letter of intent to purchase our product. So we are currently taking pre-orders, basically.
All right, thanks, James.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jacqueline. Thank you, James. How about our other judges? Do we have any more last questions before we move forward? Okay, I believe that's all the questions we have for you, James. Again, very interesting product that you have in the market. I really like what you said about, simplest solutions can be also the smartest solutions. Next, moving forward with our sixth startup today, we have DLogical. DLogical is a smart procurement platform for physical commodities. Joining us here today is the founder, chairman, and CEO of DLogical, Mr. Ira Keener. Ira, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. Given the opportunity, how would you shape the future of procurement? When I first started physical commodities trading 10 years ago, this was my biggest problem: stress. Stress associated with making numerous phone calls, negotiating until I was blue in the face to save pennies on the dollar, while all the while wasting my most valuable commodity, time. Enter DLogical. DLogical is the only fully integrated one-stop digital shop that incorporates the procurement process, trade finance, payments, logistics, and storage solutions. What makes DLogical different and distinct from the rest of its competitors is DLogical is the only platform that employs a competitive selection process during the procurement process, which introduces transparency, price optimization, and also operational efficiency. So with one stroke of the key, you get all of the relevant quotes and you can make a decision quickly. So as far as market size goes, this is the size of the market for the Philippines alone. And DLogical is different because it meets all of your needs in a single optimized system, and customers need it now because markets are volatile. And you should get your supply from DLogical because it's logical, simple, and easy. So these are just testimonials from some of the suppliers on the platform: Petron and PTT, Allegiant Regional Care Hospitals, and CK Builders, both procure from the platform. And we are currently working on web version 2.0, which will introduce a marketplace model, therefore allowing one to bypass the competitive selection process and allowing the buyers to go directly to the storefront of their choice. The open trading network and the private network are the ones that also go through the competitive selection process, with the only distinguishing factor that with the private network, it's more exclusive. So there's an average of 2 to 8% in savings from using the platform. And these are the fintechs that we currently have partnered with to extend trade finance and payment solutions. And we also have 160 third-party logistics providers. So this is what our marketplace model will look like once we roll it out. And as far as our business model goes, we collect 1.5% of every successful transaction. We're going to be rolling out a SaaS model, which will enable one to pay a subscription model and then use the platform an unlimited number of times. And then for access to trade finance, we will charge 30 to 40% per annum. For logistics providers that subscribe to the Logical platform, we take 10% of gross market value. And for storage solutions, we take 15% of GMV. This is our revenue to date. So the last bar that you see, first quarter of 2023, we're annualizing that up to about 3x the 2022 earnings, owing mainly to customers and projects that we have in the pipeline. So total revenue to date is at just south of $20 million with an average take rate of 2.5%, with gross profit of $500K. And we're also looking to 5x this within the next year. And then, of course, the bar chart that you see on the lower right-hand corner depicts our traction in other commodities, particularly cement, medical supplies, and petrochemicals. So our user growth, if you look at the last bar on the right, it shows that we have 117 businesses already on board and 104 suppliers. And then as far as user size distribution goes, 9.1% is the fastest growing slice of the pie, owing mainly to the complexity that's involved with large companies procuring many different SKUs. So DLogical can procure many different SKUs simultaneously. This is the team as presently constructed. We'd like to think of ourselves as champions in our respective fields. And we're currently raising $2 million to extend trade finance to some very large customers that we're looking to take on board, and also to, of course, develop our mobile app and our Web 2.0 version with the marketplace model. So we've taken the liberty of looking at an exit strategy on the PSE and where we stand with respect to their criteria. And with that, do you want to shape the future of procurement with us? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ira. It's nice to see how far DLogical has come and how you're really digitalizing the procurement process here in the Philippines. Now we'll move forward with our judges. Please raise your hand for your questions. Do we have any questions from our judges for Ira? Again, please just raise your hand using the Zoom feature below and I'll call you first. Yes, Mr. Allen, please go ahead.
Ira, good afternoon. Great product. How much of the $2 million have you actually raised?
None.
Okay, so when do you plan to launch the raise of the funds?
We opened our round up about a month ago, and we're looking to close this as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm. And the use of funds will be, I may have missed it, but use of funds for the $2 million will be for?
Yeah, so we have several very large companies that are seeking trade finance solutions. So we know that the risk, the credit risk is very low, but they're seeking terms. And we look at what will that will do is will basically help our take rate go from 2.5% to about 16%, owing mainly to the fact that we can make a net interest margin on the funds that we borrow and then that we relend to the persons seeking terms.
Okay, last question, Ira. I can see from the breakdown of your revenue streams, majority would come from petrochemicals and petroleum. Is there any other industry that's substantial enough you'd like to break into?
we would definitely like to get into construction materials, considering the macroeconomic environment, which involves a lot of growth in the construction sectors and transportation.
Okay, how about government transactions, government procurement? Is it something that this can actually adapt into?
That's something that we're currently working on.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Good luck, Ira. Thank you,
Thank
PB.
you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Alwin. Do we have questions from our other judges today? Yes, Mr. Swami, go ahead.
Sorry, the space is a little bit new to me, so maybe some basic questions just to understand. So the primary modality of kind of how you will disperse the raise and the way you're growing your revenue is the trade finance or the working capital allocation. Is that correct? Or is it towards the other portions? And
so a good portion of that will go to the trade finance, owing mainly to the fact that it will immediately generate the returns that any investor would look for. But then a good portion of that will also go towards speeding up our development process for our mobile apps and also for our web app 2.0, which will also introduce the marketplace model to enable our suppliers to also have a presence on the platform and allow buyers to go direct to the supplier of their choice.
So tell me if I understand this right, but one thing that I always be wary of from a investor in a tech or a kind of a venture perspective is, where the ventures are fintech and the fintech is primarily around working capital. And so effectively you're raising venture money and putting that into kind of trade finance or working capital. And where those kind of two sides of how capital should be, and it should be at arm's length, but you're kind of flowing one into another. So just want your commentary on that. And the second is, in terms of the rest of the product or the platform, it looks like there's the open platform, there's the kind of proprietary platform, and there's the marketplace. I feel like you're trying to be Alibaba on one hand, being a marketplace, but you're also being kind of proprietary, like how Oracle or Sesame or some of the other tools, SAP, tend to have like kind of B2B procurement platform approach, and also launching an open platform like the space is set up like a airline or some other kind of open inventory system, and you're just democratizing and making it available. Is that my right understanding? And I feel like then it's kind of all over the place. So why all three?
Well, the first model, which introduces the competitive selection process, basically addresses the need of buyers. So it enables the buyers to, with one stroke of their key, get all of the prices that they need, competitively selected, and also price optimized, introducing operational efficiencies as well, and introducing transparency. So that's why we've opted for that model for procurement. And in addition, it also tags all of the relevant suppliers only, so you don't get any irrelevant results. And then as far as the marketplace model, that addresses the need for suppliers to also have the capability to also showcase their products on the platform without necessarily having to go through the competitive selection process. For your second question, yes, we are developing a B2B SaaS platform for procurement, but then this is distinguished mainly by the fact that if you look at the Oracle and the SAP procurement platforms, they do not incorporate a competitive selection process.
Great. So thank you to our judges who asked. Thank you, Ira. So that's all the time we have today for D-Logical, but it's really great to see what you're doing to really digitalize the procurement process here in the Philippines. So moving on to our next startup today, we have Rise Rural Philippines. Rise Rural is a youth-led social enterprise dedicated to improving the lives of Filipinos in rural areas with the use of innovative solutions. As an enterprise, it is currently working to close the gap in health disparities while promoting access to clean energy through its innovation called the Araw Kalinga Box. Here with us today is Rise Rural's co-founder, Mr. Mark Virgil Hamer. Mark, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mark Hammer. I am the co-founder of a social enterprise called Rice Rural Philippines, revolutionizing rural healthcare access with the use of solar photovoltaics technology. So this is me when I was very, very young. I grew up in a family of community healthcare workers. My grandmother was a midwife, as well as my mom, and I was her unhelpful assistant back then. One thing that I realized growing up was that many of our patients were coming from far-flung communities, traveling for more than 3 hours, even crossing rivers just to access healthcare services in our clinic. Growing up in that such environment, I have realized how inaccessible healthcare services are, especially to Filipinos living in off-grid or rural communities. And that is the reason why I became very passionate about healthcare access. Unfortunately, this problem still exists up to this day, and one of the many reasons is the unreliable electricity in far-flung communities. No access to reliable electricity means no working medical equipment, and this results to a lot of patients in being referred to city health offices, which is very dangerous in their situation. So because of this, our team tried to answer or solve this problem because it's really affecting, even a global scale, a lot of Filipinos, 210 to be exact, are dying because of this problem. 210 maternal mortality rate and 121 infant mortality because of this problem. And globally, 8 million people are dying because of this. So our team tried to answer the question, how might we provide reliable electricity source to clinics in off-grid communities so that we can provide healthcare services as well. So this is how we came up, our team, Rice Rural Philippines, came up with a solution, which is a solar-powered medical kit. We call it Araw Kalinga Box. This kit provides all-in-one services. It is portable, solar-powered. It offers medical storage box as well so that doctors can provide healthcare services anytime and anywhere. This medical box provides over 8 hours of electricity, storage for tools and equipment, and a vaccine storage. As an early stage startup, we've already created a minimum viable product that is being pilot tested in one of our communities. Compared to other existing solutions, our box is 5 times lighter. It provides over 8 hours of solar electricity and reduces patients' travel time by 3 hours. After conducting a lot of customer discovery surveys, we found out that portability and reliable electricity source are the main features that our customers are looking for in a solution. So this is our business model. We are selling these medical boxes to private organizations, as well as to local government units who will then let these boxes be used by rural healthcare providers. By doing this, we are making healthcare services accessible to Filipinos living in rural community. So they don't have to go to city hospitals just to get the healthcare they deserve. This is our market. We're targeting 448 Philippine peso in revenue for our serviceable obtainable market. And according to PSA, we see this market as an attractive market since over the past few years, we've seen an increase in expenditure when it comes to healthcare services. Our team is composed of a lead officer for business strategy, community and partnerships lead, public health, as well as an engineering team. We have background in engineering, public health, and business to make this project succeed. Fortunately, we've been recognized and funded by different institutions locally and abroad. We're working with some of the institutions that has funded us ever since, like the United Nations Development Program in the Philippines, as well as the Social Innovation and Health Initiative. So we've already raised a total of 350,000 equity-free funding since 2022, and we're looking for more for mentorships, links to partners, and funding to reach our goal of launching by 2024. So growing up in a family of healthcare workers, my mom being a registered midwife, one thing that I've learned is that this quote that came from my mom, that no woman should die while giving birth, and that every life born is worth fighting for. This is Rice Rural Philippines, revolutionizing rural healthcare access with the use of solar photovoltaics technology, and I'm ready for your questions.
Thank you, Mark. What an interesting solution. I'm really inspired by it, really helping a lot of our healthcare workers and facilities in the rural provinces. Yes, for the questions, I believe we have Mr. Alwin. Please go ahead.
Sorry, Phoebe, I left my hand.
No worries, it happens.
Sorry.
No worries. But if you have a question later, you can also raise your hand again. So yes, Mr. Swami Sikar, please go ahead.
Super intrigued, Mark, and very keen to understand more on your journey. If I break down the solution, I feel like there are two steps to it. One is knowing that there is a quality medical instrumentation plus capable medical talent or like resource available in the rural setting. So that's problem one. And the problem two associated with that is like the access to, let's call it good quality, solar or electricity access. But you might generalize it to say electricity, cleanliness, hygiene, and a few other attributes that don't make the service, the whatever is that's going to be rendered, be successful. So how did you aggregate these two to? So I guess my one question would be, why solar if it can be solved with like really efficient but portable battery technology, which solves for the medical kit to be highly available and highly usable? Or where did you go through the validation that took it to the need for solar as well? While yes, solar is available and it's free, but there are other challenges in terms of its efficiency, conversion, the cost itself, which is going down, but it's still kind of high. So why tie kind of two pieces together, and which one was the core problem that drove you into building the venture?
Right. Thank you very much for that question, Swami. So when we were doing the conceptualization stage of this project, we consulted with a lot of stakeholders that are very important to the development of our project. So we consulted with rural medical workers. We also consulted with specifically with alumni of the Department of Health's Dr. Tida Barrio program. And upon doing a lot of surveys and interviews with them, we were able to find out that electricity is indeed one of the main problem. And they did also told us how solar panels or solar technology would be of great help to them. So by taking their insights, we kind of incorporated that into our solution. We want them to like really be part of the decision-making process. And you mentioned also about the training that the user should be trained enough to use this box. That's something that we're really considering. So what we're doing is we're providing product demonstrations, especially to our target users. We provide them enough training before finally providing the boxes to them, just to make sure that it would really work out. In terms of efficiency, the box doesn't only rely on the solar panels. We also included like a plug where rural healthcare providers can directly plug it if ever they have access to electricity, so that it doesn't only rely solely on the solar panel for electricity source.
Thank you.
Thank you for that, Mr. Swami. Mark, do we have any other questions from our other judges? Please just raise your hand using the Zoom feature below. If we don't have any other questions from our other judges, I believe that's all we have for you today, Mark. Again,
thank you, Phoebe.
Very great presentation and great what you're doing for our rural communities here in the Philippines. Something I think you can address even in other countries as well. So moving on to our next startup today, we have Lycan. Lycan is a smart mobility company that is integrating smart technologies into two-wheeled electric vehicles. With us here today is Lycan's founder and CEO, Mr. John Gangat. John, the floor is yours.
Good day, everyone, and it is a pleasure to meet you all. My name is John Gangat, founder and the CEO of Lycan Motorcycles Incorporated, a pioneering Filipino company passionate about leading the way towards a greener and smarter future through electric vehicles. Currently, we are in the midst of our Seed2 fundraising round, aiming to raise a total of 15 million pesos in capital for a 20% stake in Lycan. This funding will optimize our business for mass production and distribution. Please note that we are not pitching you the entire Seed2 round, but rather I am expressing what stage we are in. Our mission is to play a significant role in the Philippines' transition to electric vehicles and decelerate climate change impacts, while providing efficient transport solution to the public mass through cost-effective, affordable, cleaner, and smarter electric vehicles. Our product line includes a fully electric stand-up scooter called the Atlas, featuring variants of 500 to 1,500 watts of motor power, complete electrical and lighting accessories, front and rear braking and suspension, lithium-ion batteries, and IoT-ready technologies. Importantly, our vehicles are road legal and require no license or registration, making it more accessible to a wider audience. We offer these innovative solutions within the price range of 35,000 to 65,000 with a 25 to 43% profit margin. At Lycan, we believe that the quality of our end product is as strong as the partnerships that help forge them. To ensure our Atlas stands as the forefront of electric vehicle technology and quality, we have fostered strategic alliances with some of the most reputable companies in the automotive and technology industry, of which I can share with you privately off-stream. These partnerships strengthen our capacity to deliver world-class products. Our marketing strategy at Lycan is designed to be robust, comprehensive, and dynamic. We have a multifaceted marketing strategy, initially focusing on the B2B2C market across various sectors, including corporate, utilities, government, tourism, security, and logistics, before branching out into the B2C market. Our business model for the B2B2C involves direct sales, servicing, and transport as a service rental. Once we enter the B2C market, we will expand to distribution, retail, franchising, and servicing, thus diversifying our income streams and opening more opportunities for both customers and job openings. Our journey so far has garnered significant attention and interest from the public, as shown by our features in mainstream media. This speaks volume about the demand and acceptance for Filipino-made smart motorcycles and vehicles. The overwhelming response, we believe, is an endorsement of our mission and vision and the potential of our business model. This also positions us well to leverage media coverage upon our full business launch. Our B2B2C strategy, which has already begun to show significant promise, is embodied by a monumental pending order from one of the largest employers in the Philippines for 6,000 units of the Atlas, a deal amounting to around 228 million pesos. With targets to reach 50,000 units in production per year by acquiring more of their employee base, partnering with more companies in various industries, and establishing our production facility during our Series A round. Furthermore, by fulfilling this nationwide distribution, we are poised to reinforce our market presence across the country, solidifying our footing in key locations. Because of this, our commitment to share our success with fellow Filipinos are strengthened through the opening of hundreds to thousands of job opportunities through our vertical integration strategy and business synergies, both directly and indirectly. Job opportunities are available in R&D, production and manufacturing, distribution, retail, and up to after-sales services for both local and international markets. The funds raised in the Seed2 round will be strategically deployed towards business and operational optimization, service as a strategic tool judiciously deployed towards enhancing multiple facets of our business in distribution, logistics, storage, servicing, manpower, and training, and establishing serviceable areas nationwide. All these efforts are strategically designed to position us strongly for our upcoming Series A funding round, preparing us for the challenge of scaling our operations to mass production. So by investing in these key areas, we will strengthen our business foundation and increase our readiness to seize the massive opportunity that lies ahead in the electric vehicle market. Lastly, I want to touch on potential synergies between Lycan and Shell. Together, we can explore opportunities in battery swapping stations, EV charging infrastructure, renewable energy integration, R&D collaboration, fleet sales and corporate partnerships, and co-branding. This partnership will play a significant role in our shared ambition for a net zero emissions future by 2030 to 2050. Thank you for considering our pitch, and we're excited about the future of electric mobility in the Philippines and eager to explore how Lycan and Shell can drive this transformation together.
Thank you so much for that, John. Again, it's very interesting to see what you're doing for smart mobility and electric vehicles here in the Philippines. We'll move forward with the question and answer portions from our judges. Judges, please just raise your hand through the Zoom feature below. Do we have any questions from our judges? Yes, Mr. Alwin, please go ahead.
Yes, John, good afternoon. How many of units do you have already running running right now?
Well, last year and up to the first quarter, we have sold around 15 units.
50 so far, and do you project, how many do you project to be sold this year?
We are projecting 6,000 units from our corporate client.
And how's the safety record so far?
Okay, well, the safety record is we have tested it a lot in a lot of situations, in a lot of areas, in a lot of roads. And so far, during our initial testing, we have seen a lot of potential pitfalls, namely in the slopey areas and in the rural and areas here in the Philippines. But we have addressed those by incorporating higher motor power. But at the same time, one of the safety features that we are looking first and foremost is the durability of the quality of the materials, the components, and the parts. This is why we have partnered with a lot of the industry leaders here in the Philippines and internationally. Then, as for additional safety features, we are incorporating IoT technologies such as impact detection, GPS location, and for our corporate partners, we are integrating as well fleet management systems so that we can understand, we can see, and they can analyze the data given off by the vehicle.
Okay, and then price point wise, compared to motorbikes, motorcycles, you're cheaper, I presume?
Yes, definitely.
By say 30%, 40%, thereabouts?
It depends on which type of motorcycle we are comparing it to, but our price range is around 35,000 to 65,000 pesos.
Yes, okay. And last question, would you know if ever would your vehicles qualify for financing, bank financing, among others?
Okay, that's a good question. We have recently inquired with local banks, and unfortunately, given the nature of the vehicle, they're not yet accepting. But they have considered our proposition, especially if we have volume orders by the volume.
All right. Thank you very much, John. No further questions, Phoebe.
Thank you, Mr. Alwin. We have next Mr. Sherwin Yap.
Hi, John. I'm a fan of your designs in Lycan and especially the motorcycles. Really cool.
Thank you.
My question is about roadworthiness, as well as you mentioned that there are no current requirements or legal requirements, right? So moving forward, I mean, I'm sure since there will be a lot of electric vehicles, two-wheeled or four-wheeled ones, I'm sure they'll be coming up with a standard, right? So will you be, or do you have plans, or are you following a certain standard that is internationally recognized? Or yeah, can you share a bit about the standards? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, we are, of course, definitely considering getting our products at par with international standards. Actually, one of our goals is to have ISO level quality. But of course, we need to do a lot of testing and a lot of developments in order to achieve that. But one of our considerations, especially locally, well, particularly for our Atlas model, it's a stand-up scooter. There are not much restrictions and requirements to own and operate and use on roads, except for highways, of course. But in terms of our future products, which would contain, full-sized electric vehicles, we are considering, and that is one of our topmost priorities, to get our vehicles up to par with international standards.
By international standards, you mean ISO? Isn't that for manufacturing?
Yes, manufacturing, of course, because we are producing our products here locally.
Okay. Thank you, John.
Thank you, Mr. Sherwin. Perhaps one last quick question for Mr. Carl.
Yeah, just a quick one, John. Pretty much know what you do, but curious right now, since you have orders for your Atlas product, how much of it is, or what's the percentage of local content being manufactured here, and what percentage of the vehicle is still being imported?
Okay, that's a very good question. Majority of our products, except for the key primary components such as electric motor, the battery, brakes, and suspension, are imported. Well, we are coordinating with several partners, both locally and internationally. So, but the rest are locally manufactured.
Are there any plans, given that this is a low power or LSV vehicle, are there any plans of locally producing the other imported components here in the Philippines?
Well, that is one of our goals, but we require a lot of integration of partners and resources to start those R&D, because developing batteries is not a common thing to be done here in the Philippines, but that's part of our plan in terms of our vertical integration strategy, hopefully within the next 10 years.
Great.
Thank you, John.
Welcome.
Thank you, judges. That's all the time we have today for Lycan. Again, thank you, John. It's great to see what you're really doing for smart mobility here in the Philippines.
Thank
And
you.
moving forward to our last but not least, we have our 10th startup today. Presenting Agrabah Ventures. Agrabah was created to empower Filipino farmers and fisherfolks to steadily earn fair profit through online platforms that connect them to partners and consumers. Joining us today is Agrabah CEO, Mr. John Ocol. Mr. June, please go ahead. Hello, Mr. June. I believe your mic is off.
Sorry. Hi, I'm June from Agrabah. The Philippine agriculture value chain is complex and inefficient. Farmers and fisher folks lack stable market channel, easy access to financing, and reliable logistics. So at Agrabah, we are a managed service provider that offers improved efficiency in agriculture, commodities trading, trade financing, and logistics. Let's talk about our platform. We have Wharf. Prior to implementing our solution, at Bicol region, they're producing around 30 metric tons of seaweed monthly. With the engagement of Agrabah, right now the production is up to 200 metric tons per month. With that volume, that is an estimate of 18 million pesos direct revenue of farmers in the area. And because of that volume, we also managed to sequester carbon, a total of 61,488,000 kilograms of carbon through planting of seaweeds. And because we capture the data of the farmers, their transactions, we have created a credit scoring for them. Our farmers usually do not qualify for regular bank financing because first, they don't have any ITR, they don't have proof of income. But because we managed to capture their transaction every time they deliver, a credit score was created and they could use that for loan application. And we've tried that with our partners. We tried it with our partner Card Bank and Kaagapay Financing. We've disbursed over 2.2 million worth of loan directly to the farmers. And because of that, the volume and the transaction continues. Now, the next challenge is how can we make the transportation more efficient? So we created a logistics platform wherein trucks would go directly to farms because traditionally, the farmers have to transfer from a municipal truck going to a different truck And every time you transfer goods, there's additional cost and there's waste. So to avoid that, we created a logistics platform. So basically, we have like a golden triangle where every platform supports itself. Because of those platforms, we've managed to fulfill 2,500 metric tons of seaweeds, 3 million units of cut flour, and 60 metric tons of fruits and vegetables. That translates to $3.4 million in transaction value just for the seaweeds, 650,000 for cut flowers, and 56,000 for our fruits and vegetables. But we're not stopping there. Right now, we are entering corn because our go-to-market strategy is to increase the volume while increasing the commodity. Right now, while we increase the volume of the seaweed, we're increasing the production of corn. In Bicol region, the production of corn is around 5 to 6 metric tons per hectare. In the north, they're reaching 10 to 12. So there's a big gap. So we want to address that and replicate what we did with the seaweed in the corn industry. Together with our partner Bayer, we hope that we could address the Philippine corn deficit in the next 5 years. Right now, we already secured 200 hectares of land to start this project. This is our team. We have over a decade experience in each of our fields. Here's our mentors and advisors and some of our partners. We challenge you guys to join us to make more impact. More than just a platform, we build communities because we believe that the grass is always greener where you water it. I'm ready for your questions.
Thank you, June. Really wonderful to see what you're doing for our agricultural and fishing communities here in the Philippines. We'll be moving forward with the question and answers. Please raise your hand using the Zoom feature. Do we have any questions from our judges today for Mr. June? Again, just please raise your hand using the Zoom feature below. Mr. Swami, Mr. Alwin, Ms. Jacqueline, Mr. Carl, Mr. Sherwin, no questions for Mr. June today? Yes, Mr. Swami, go ahead.
I think it's pretty clean, and I see that there is naturally a good growth opportunity because even I've looked at businesses in Philippines that are small business growing kind of seaweed farm and a few other. So it's good that you're supporting that growth. Can I ask, one, how much of that growth is probably the natural growth cycle after kind of COVID and other factors that actually kind of decimated that whole industry, even the primary industry, seaweed industry, in Philippines? And is your solution primarily focused on trade finance or the connectivity of buyer seller? Yeah.
Thank you for that question. For the first question, actually during the pandemic, we've really seen our impact because when no one else is moving goods, we are there. We've managed to transport the goods of the farmers, especially the cut flowers. The big chunk of their sales is during the pandemic when other farmers are throwing their flowers. The community we're supporting, they've managed to sell all of those and they've got income during the pandemic. So I think that's a testament of how our platform really works, because during the pandemic, the flower market here in the Philippines, especially Danwa, is closed. So there's no market for literally for cut flowers. But because we are supporting the community, we managed to dispose their production, and we've created routes for them to distribute the flowers that they have through our partners. For the next question, actually, we're focused primarily in the connecting the wharf, which we connect farmers directly to institutional buyers. Now, the trade financing comes in because the demand is so huge that the community cannot keep up, and the only way to keep up is to increase the production. Now, the problem is they're not eligible for regular loans from our traditional banks because they have a lot of requirements. And our seaweed growers, they don't have any land for collateral because they're planting on the sea. They don't have ITR or ID. So the credit scoring really helped them with application of the loans through our partners.
Thank you.
Thank you, Swami, for that question. Do we have any other last questions from our other judges? Any other last questions for our last startup today? I believe there's a lot of information to go over, June, but yeah, great presentation, of course. Ms. Jacqueline, Mr. Carl, Mr. Sherwin, Mr. Alwin. Okay, I think that's all the questions we have today for you, June. Again, thank you, Agraba Ventures. It's very nice to see what you're doing for our local communities. And that, everyone, is our last startup today. We witnessed 10 startups, and 3 of them will be moving forward with our Shell LiveWIRE program. And of course, now congratulations to all of our startups for even making it this far. It's definitely not an easy decision for our judges today. Very different, innovative solutions that address a lot of problems that we have here in the Philippines. You all are really going to be going far, and we're very excited to see what you have moving forward. So, of course, may we call on some of our judges to give some words or to share your thoughts about today's program. I think there's a lot for us to learn, and it was for me, a very exciting experience indeed. So for our judges, please just raise your hand and we'll call on you individually. Does anyone want to go first? Share your thoughts, perhaps about the startups, your experience. Yes, Ms. Jacqueline, please go ahead.
Yeah, I'll go first. So, first of all, having the privilege to watch each and every one of you for today is really a gift for me. I can really see the creativity, innovation, passion, and perseverance that you have all shown today in your respective startups. And, this will actually create a ripple effect to our society and community. I think my advice and my takeaway is that, keep doing what you're doing. I know there may be times when you feel like giving up, or probably you feel that you're not good enough because you haven't really achieved the outcome or the results that you've been looking for. But, then you overlook the journey and the process that you're going through, right? Take pride in the effort, the hard work, and the sacrifices that you've been doing just to achieve and get to where you are right now. So I can, similarly, like swans, for example, you all look graceful, poised and very calm, presenting your pitch to us. But I'm sure, behind the scenes, there's a lot of things to manage. And like swans, underneath their feet, they're very, crazy, working, tirelessly. And I can sense that to all of you. But, remember, success doesn't really happen overnight. But the fact that you have this purpose and the fact that you are doing what you're doing already creates, it speaks volume because you have already started it. So congratulations to everyone for making it this far. And I've learned a lot today. Thanks.
Thank you, Ms. Jacqueline. It was very nice to hear your words. Again, like what you said, success doesn't happen overnight, and we're very glad to see that our startups are really persevering, really shows forward the Filipino resilience. Do we have other comments from our other judges today? Yes, Mr. Carl, please go ahead.
Yeah. Again, of course, we would like to thank Shell and Ignite for being able to support continuously these types of activities. We very much welcome here in DTI and the different government agencies working together to build the startup and innovation community here in the country. Of course, if it's not with this inspiring founders that we have here right now, it would be really hard to build a community of startups here in the country. And I would like to commend the startup that who pitched here today. Of course, it's a very diverse group of founders across different industries, and we're glad that, of course, you're not only building technologies, but these technologies also have their respective purposes and advocacies that they wish to address. We do hope that regardless of the outcome of this competition, of course, you will be continuing doing what you do. The government will be here to support you as well in various types of or various activities that we can, within our mandates, can support you. And we very much welcome, in terms of promoting some of your solutions to our partners as well here in DTI. So again, congratulations in advance, and thank you, Shell and Ignite, for organizing this.
Thank you so much, Mr. Carl. Again, it's really great to see, and to our startups here today, like what Mr. Carl Percolor mentioned, the government is here to help us, right? We're all after really uplifting the local economy, and thank you as well that there's a lot of people really involved in the startup ecosystem now. Next, we have Mr. Swami Sekar. Please go ahead.
So I'm really happy just going through this experience and seeing the ventures. As an engineer myself, many times I've looked at some of the solutions that have been proposed, thinking these are great. I remember my younger years out of college, excited, solving for kind of the local community and local needs. The solutions such as to support mobility for people who cannot walk, or the solution that's power, like with electricity and solar and other, kind of sustainable energy solutions. What I think is amazing here and with Shell is that we are taking these projects or kind of lab experiments or garage experiments and giving it a footing to bring it to scale. And as a repeat entrepreneur, I believe that when businesses go past a certain stage, typically around like say $500,000 revenue or something like that, you have a chance to actually make it a sustainable business. And I hope that all of the businesses here become one. There is no harm in seeing whether it becomes kind of a stable business or a managed growth business or a hyper growth venture. All these are paths that different businesses can take. And amongst the businesses here, they're all of different flavors. But I wish you all success in your own right. And I'm glad that this platform and framework can allow you to cross those initial hurdles and reach a sustainable business and not be a garage idea or a concept. So all the best.
Thank you, Mr. Swami. It's really great to hear from you also as both an investor and a founder. It's definitely not an easy road, but at the same time, it's nice to see how far our startups really grew in the past years, especially through the Shell LiveWIRE program. For our other judge, Mr. Alwin, do you have any other final remarks regarding your experience today?
Yes, thank you, Phoebe. And first and foremost, I'd like to congratulate Filipino Shell Foundation for this very, very productive activity. I'd like to commend my fellow judges. We all come from different backgrounds, but I think we all have contributed in every possible way in making this activity very, very interesting and productive. I'd also like to congratulate the participants this afternoon, and I can say that the spirit of creativity amongst the participants is very, very much alive. And I can happily say that the startup ecosystem is really alive and kicking here in the Philippines. And it makes me proud to become a Filipino, knowing that innovation and creativity really lies in our blood. this morning I had the meeting, and one of the comments made was, is the Philippines actually already a laggard when it comes to startup ventures? Somebody was saying that perhaps we are, but I'm of the opinion that no, we're not. We are right smack in, we are in the sweet spot of where innovation is taking us. And there's a lot of opportunities right now. I don't think the problems will end. However, we can offer solutions in every way possible. And the only thing I can say as a closing is that do not be disappointed, whatever the result of today's activity will be. Continue the spirit of entrepreneurship. And of course, let's all continue to change this planet, this world that we live in, one spark, one day at a time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Alwan. It's really great to hear from you. Like what you said, all the judges came from different backgrounds and have really contributed greatly to our experience today. I think we can all agree that it's not going to be an easy decision. A lot of startups come also from different backgrounds, address different solutions. And while not every problem can be solved, the first step is always making the effort to do so. And of course, moving on to our last judge and our last speaker for today, we also have Mr. Sherwin Yap, who will be giving our closing remarks.
Thanks,
Mr.
Phoebe.
Great to hear you, Mr. Sherwin. So Mr. Sherwin also is a successful business leader with a passion for innovation who seeks to prime the country to become a global technology powerhouse. With a strong background in robotics and technology innovations, supply chain management, real estate management, and corporate leadership, Sherwin brings a wealth of expertise to his endeavors. He possesses a learner mindset, constantly seeking new knowledge and growth opportunities. Sherwin's achievements include being a 4-time Shell Global winner for innovations in the field of supply chain optimization. He has also forged partnerships with educational institutions and foundations to advance coding, robotics, and STEM education in the country. Currently, he is the program director for Shell-funded programs under Pilipinas Shell Foundation. Mr. Sherwin, to give your closing remarks, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Phoebe. Good afternoon once again, everyone. First, I'd like to congratulate the 10 teams who presented today from Vocacy, Resbin, Forent, Lightus Manufacturing, Micro, Adaptive Mobility, Dialogical, Rice Rural, Lycon, and Agraba. Your businesses are not only innovative, but they also actively seek to create positive impact to communities and the economy. So to my fellow judges, Jackie Famorca, Carl Pacolor, Alwin Ong, Swami Sekar, thank you for imparting your time and expertise in selecting our next top 3 startups this year. Your inputs are very much valued. From this point on, the scores will be audited and the results will be released this weekend. The top 3 startups will start with the 3-month acceleration program, and it will start next week. They will be joined by 6 community enterprises, which we have selected. A tech startup, which is an awardee of the Benito and Catalina Yap Foundation, or BCYFI. And an A-lister is also part of that. They will receive mentoring and funding to drive their businesses and product development. We will also identify points for possible integration to the Shell value chain. As we speak, 12 startups and enterprises are already linked to Shell and Pilipinas Shell Foundation, and we aim to increase that number this year. There will also be opportunities to build your network with our partners and participate in the global Shell LiveWIRE competition, wherein the top 10 innovators will be selected for 2024. So again, congratulations, and we hope that all of you will continue to press on, develop your market, improve your products, build your skills and teams, while keeping in mind the reason why you started your businesses in the first place. We look forward to witnessing you grow, and together, let's move the Filipinos forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sherwin Yap, for your kind words. Again, I would like to echo what you said, the two I's, which are innovation and impact. This highlights not just our really great batch of Shell LiveWire startups today, but also the growing trend in the Philippine ecosystem as a whole. I would like to say good luck also to the judges. I don't think it's going to be an easy deliberation. And there's clearly a lot of different options here. No one really is a loser, honestly. And we're very excited to see where each and every one of you will go. We really hope that you really pursue your projects. There's a lot of impact you're doing for the country. Thank you as well to everyone. And that concludes our Shell LiveWire Top 10 Pitch Day. We really hope you enjoyed, and we really hope you had a great experience with our startups here today. Please reach out as well to our startups. Again, there's a lot of partnerships and opportunities that can be explored with each and every one of you. Our top 10 startups, 3 of whom will move forward with the rest of our acceleration program and will compete in Shell LiveWire's top 10 global innovators. Please stay tuned as well, as we will be announcing this top 3 through the Shell and Ignite Facebook pages. On behalf of the Shell and Ignite team, maraming salamat and enjoy the rest of your day. Hello, judges.